Here we go. Hi there, my name is Kendrick, and today I get to interview Katrina. So, Katrina, welcome.
Hi.
So, Katrina, let us know your full type.
I'm an ENFP jumper, NETE, masculine, feminine, play, consume, sleep, blast.
Cool. So, similar type to me. And what did you think and how did you feel when you got your typing results back?
Honestly, actually, it's a bit of a long story because see, when I first got my typing, like I was typed by the CRG group first, and in the CRG group, they typed me as the exact same type I had, MF, NETE, PCSB. Um, and at first, I typed myself as an FI savior for the longest time. Like I was a TI, I typed myself as a TI savior first, and then in 2019, I typed myself as an FI savior. And like when I saw that I was typed as a TE savior, it came as a surprise to me, but also not, if you catch my drift. Yeah.
Right. And what made you not be surprised also at the same time? Like, did you kind of catch yourself already being a T savior?
Yeah, because like I kind of catch myself being kind of self-sacrificial at sometimes, because like when there's a crisis of some sort, like I find myself taking the position of being well, not being responsible, but like I catch myself trying to solve other people's problems whenever I can.
And is that with your NT play then? Like you're,
Yeah.
trading with a
And
tribe?
like the NT play is just like me brainstorming. It's a whole thing because like I when I have like ideas, I need to brainstorm it with people first, like ping it off with other people, share it with servers, especially when I write, when I share my writing. I ping people, I ping my friends like on Discord or on WhatsApp to see, to read my writing, so they know what they so I know what they think about it.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. And then maybe you saw yourself as FI savior because uh you have double masculine sleep. Would you say that's sounds about
Yeah, yeah. My double masculine sleep is like it's so I'm here's the way I'd explain my double masculine sleep. It's like I my brand has been consistent throughout the years. Like I find myself going back to the same likes and dislikes, and I'm I don't really like to venture out of my bubble when it comes to the SF stuff. You know, like I dress the same, I more or less the same. Like there are some changes, but more or less I like the same stuff. I dress the same, I listen to the same music,
Oh,
and
I
so on
see.
and so forth.
Gotcha. Um, Before we go deep into your SF sleep, let's talk about your NF consume first, because you do have it second, and your NF consume, it's in a savior state. So as a result, you're gonna have a lot of that like traditional ENFP like qualities still. You know,
Yeah.
so how do you personally experience that NF consume of yours? Like when does it come out and what does it look like?
Well, with NF consume, I like to gather like stuff based on like how do um like I like to gather stuff based on like w- things that are humanities related. I like to um explore, see other people's well, sorry, the blast last is blast thing.
Oh yeah, no worries. We'll get to your blast last in a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, NF consume like a lot of my interests are very humanities related. I'm a huge history and psychology nerd. But like when I consume stuff related to my interests, it's like the stuff that are related to other people's feelings, ethics, morals, etc. It's I guess that's something I like to explore, I guess.
Do you also like things that if you're watching something for fictional purposes, do you enjoy more content that is more fictional and well, not fictional, but more like fantasy and sci-fi, because it's NF, so it's more in the lands of imagination as opposed to reality.
Yeah, I prefer to consume NF related things like yeah, fiction.
Yeah. Do you have any
I
like, what kind of content
excuse
you've consumed with that NF consume?
yeah, I guess like I like to explore yeah, I like to consume media that is more character based. I like to explore like I like to watch more slice of life they kind of media or like media that has to do with characters interacting with each other, you know.
Oh, I see.
Like
So a
I
lot of
pref
play also involved.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I prefer character based works compared to like action based works.
oh, I see. Like when it involves more like relationships and whatnot.
Yeah,
I see. Gotcha. So it's not like high SE kind of like, shows. It's uh more like a double deciding kind of show. Or all
yeah.
it could involve single deciders obviously as well, seeing their problems.
Hmm.
Uh
Yeah.
okay, cool. And then is that kind of like the image that you're trying to portray also to the people around you? Because that, with NF consume, that's part of that is external self-awareness and also like an image that's being portrayed to the tribe, right? It's like if you look at the ESFPs, they have SF consume. So that's why they look so cool, right? But with us with NF consume, it's a little bit different. So I guess the image that I've seen a lot of NF consume people put out is maybe one of altruism. So for example, like Mr. Beast gives away a lot of like free money in his YouTube channel as an ENFP with like being lead NF consume. So um do you see yourself kind of putting away or putting out an image that is like more altruistic instead of like, being what's cool and popular, or is it something else that you see yourself doing?
Yeah, I do see myself putting out like a more altruistic kind of like defending my values, defending the rights of others. Most of my Twitter presence is basically speaking out against like at first I made my Twitter account to like for autism self-advocacy, ADHD self-advocacy, but it diversified to like um fighting for the rights of everyone. Like I speak out a lot about the Palestinian genocide. I speak out a lot about like sanism, ableism, etc. And like I even in my private conversations with my friends, I do try to put out this image that I defend the rights the of those who can't defend themselves. I guess, yeah.
Oh, I see. So
Sorry
that
if I go into like control sort of territory though.
no, you can talk about anything you want in this interview. This is your interview, so talk about anything you want. It's that's what I want the people that I interview to do. So just do whatever you want. Don't apologize for it. Just be yourself. Uh,
Yeah, got
yeah,
it.
yeah. You might want to lower your camera though, because I only see your eyes. Yeah,
Oops.
there you
Whoopsie.
go. Yeah,
All right.
no worries. I thought it was kind of funny. I was distracted by that the whole time. I was like, what?
Camera skill issue.
Yeah, yeah. You're having your observer issues, but
Yeah, for
um.
real.
Yeah. Anyhow, okay, that's cool. So let's go deep dive now into your SF sleep because for both of us, that's gonna be where what we identify with the most because that's our inner world, right? So it's
Mhm.
SIFI, double masculine, so super aggressive. I want to ask you first about the double masculine polarity of it, like the aggression. Can you share a little bit about like that? Like, what does your like inner double masculine SF sleep aggression look like? Like, when does it come out? What does it look like when it does come out? You know?
When it does come out, well, SF sleep double masculine, well, it does come out when someone impinges on what I um like if someone tells me that my sense of fashion or my interests are cringe, I am not going to care because like in fact I'm gonna be a bit annoyed because I don't want to have to change myself for other people. And like I don't want to have to adjust my likes, dislikes, sense of fashion, etc. Um, and my personal space too. I value my personal space. I value my brand. I value um, like my aesthetic. My I've been having the same aesthetic for the past um, I don't know, like for as long as I can remember. My interests are very shaped by history. It's very focused on like the Victorian era and the yeah. I've always had like this yeah, same. My interests remain the same, and there's nothing no one can do about it. That yeah. Also, like my emotions, my FI, since it's masculine, it's very intense. It's very sometimes it can get morbid, you know. I'm not afraid of liking morbid things. I'm not afraid to delve into my inner darkness if I have to say so myself. I sometimes my parents and other people complain about like why am I so gloomy? Why do I explore dark stuff all the time? Why can't I draw happy things? And that frankly annoys me because like um if I want to draw, if I want to express myself in yeah, if I want to express myself, I reserve the right to express my inner darkness as well. Yeah.
I think it sounds like it's your parents if they might have FE and they're trying to project like it's not about you exploring your inner darkness and not being allowed to do it or it being bad per se, but it's like when you're so gloomy, it affects everyone else in the group. So it's like an FE kind of projection. So it's not about you really, it's about them. And
Yeah.
also with your sense of fashion, it sounds like also people with FE kind of like I think they're trying to help you because they see that you're not adhering to the social norms maybe for what you're supposed to you know be like aesthetically and stuff. So it's kind of like with us with TE, right? Like with the people with the TI, and we'll give them like some TE advice, and then they think it's just like, whoa, you're being invasive. Like cut that out, right? I don't want your advice. So it's kind of like with that with the FE with the FI, right? It's like, whoa,
Yeah.
don't tell me
Yeah.
how I should behave or how I should like present myself. That's personal. So, but like ultimately, I think both sides are just trying to help each other. Um, so knowing that, oh, what happened? Stop the recording for me.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're back. Katrina just got disconnected for a second there, but we're back now. So yeah, we were talking about the SF sleep. So yeah, so what are your thoughts on what I just said? I don't know if you got the whole thing or if you got
Yeah.
disconnected.
I got most of it, I guess, but like, yeah, it does make sense. Like, I'm not sure if my mom's type. because like it's mostly my mom who complains about me like um being kind of gloomy and liking gloomy stuff. But
Oh, are you back? Oh, did you freeze again?
yeah, when my mom was around, I figured she was a DE. Um, I do describe myself as kind of FE blind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, especially because you're so young. I can relate to what you're saying. Like when I was younger, I was doing that too. So I get it.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, definitely like speaking of FE though, like I do have a few run-ins with FE saviors that like not only do they like impinge on my um SF sleep, they also like um trigger my NF consume, because like I have this one NF friend. Well, I had this one NF friend, NF say lead for FE savior friend, FE lead, FENI. She was an independent academic, because yeah, she none of the academic institutions want to take her. Her stuff's just too controversial and new. So basically, she's philosopher of disability and madness, and also she's borderline. So whenever she's criticized, whenever I do try to give her advice, um, she often says that my tone is a bit skeptical, or that I'm being um, I'm being sanist, ableist, normative for not accepting her at face value, and like as a yeah, and that like triggers my NF consume, because like I try to posit myself as a good person, but when I'm being accused of being ableist, sanist, etc., um, it just makes me feel like I'm a bad person, like I should be more receptive to her and etc. So when I contacted like other people with her, like other people similar to her, other borderlines, other yeah, um, they said that criticizing her, like criticizing her and giving her advice the way that I do isn't inherently sanest, and that I'm not inherently a bad person, but it did mess up with me, mess with me for a while. It did mess me up for a while. So yeah.
I wonder if the person you're talking to is a decider and they have decider thing
Yeah.
going on. Yeah, because it sounds like they have decider things going on. Maybe with FE also. So you um yeah, it's just not the same language as we're speaking, essentially. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, they might go to you if you're having things problem, right? Observer problems, and they
Hmm.
might think, oh, they're gonna help you with it, and then you're just like, oh, freaking out, right?
Yeah. She doesn't freak out about things problems as much as I do, admittedly. Like she doesn't get as angry as I do when things don't work, but she does get upset. Like she's quite prone to tears, and she does get quite upset when people criticize her, or um admittedly she is a bit of an extreme case, because like part of her philosophy is like accountability means death, because like yeah, I don't know how I feel about her whole philosophy now, but it's pretty, yeah. She does believe that accountability means death because when she's being asked to take accountability for her emotional outbursts, it hurts her, and ergo, it leads to her death.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like she's maybe a social type three, because
Yeah,
broad responsibility is a challenge for those guys. And if you have TI also, being wrong is something that is equivalent to death, because if you look at our tribal days, if you are a caveman and you make a mistake, you're probably gonna die. Either like you get killed by nature, or you get ostracized by your tribe member. Like you'll get banished, right? So then you'll die, right? So that's why I think that TI was put for that purpose of, you can't be wrong and you can't make mistakes, because it did serve humans a very important purpose back in the days. So I can see like now, like people with TI would you know hold on to that ego essentially, even more strongly if they have a high ego, like social type 1 and 3. um
yeah,
so yeah, maybe that person you're referring to is social type 3. We'll talk about your social type after we finish your animals. So we'll talk about being a social 4.
yeah.
I think I'm talking to you right now, it seems like being a 4 is the one that's standing out the most to me about
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, but I do want to move on now actually to the next part of SF sleep, which is the health routine. Okay. So part of SIFI is having a routine for exercise, for eating healthy, for physical sleep, and also for mental health. So do you have any routines for those 4 different areas of health, for yourself to just be your best self, essentially, from like just like a health perspective?
well, I do try to maintain a bedtime, sleep schedule, but maintaining a sleep schedule is hard. It always ends up off whack. But um, I also have like a routine of what I do every day. Every after I wake up, I I make my bed, drink a glass of warm water, and do a few exercises, few small exercises. I also do go to the gym every other day. Um, yeah. I do find like when I go to the gym, I feel better about myself, but sometimes I'm just too lazy to go to the gym, because it's a bit time consuming to like take the bus back and forth from home to the gym. Also, in terms of mental health, like in the past, I do try to play everything off as a joke, my mental health, including uh, it does annoy people. It does prevent me from getting diagnosed properly, or it does prevent people from acknowledging my mental illness. But recently, I've been seeing a psychologist. Um, I was recently diagnosed with PTSD, uh, and like the psychologist that I'm seeing is like um giving me advice to like manage it. Um, when I get upset, when I have a thing issue, I can just walk away, do something else. If I have yeah, if feel like my breath is um if I feel like I'm hyperventilating, I should control my breath and etc. My dad um does try to he does encourage me to keep a steady routine. he tells me to practice my breathing every day, so that I can alle- alleviate some of my issues, health issues, and stuff. I've been getting better at managing my breath and calming my thoughts, so that um, because like last time, the first time, well, not the first time, but like last time I went to the um, priest. I'm a Hindu, by the way. So the last
Do you live in Bali?
two, my family's from Bali, and but I live in Jakarta.
Oh, okay. That's why when you said you were Hindu, I was like, oh, is that I thought that Hindu people are in Bali. They're not in Jakarta, because isn't
Yeah,
Jakarta more Muslim?
yeah, Jakarta is indeed very Muslim. Most of my friends are Muslim, most of my IRL friends at least. Um, but yeah, so the first two times well, the last two times I went to the priest for this malukat ritual. It's a Hindu purification ritual. So I went to the priest, right? And then uh like the last two times, at first he said I've been overthinking. He feels like my thoughts are like a knife spinning around in my head because I overthink so much, and it just ends up hurting myself. It just keeps spinning around mm, yeah, it spins around like uh momentum. What's it called? The momentum conserver. Yeah. And like the last time, the priest said that my thoughts have significantly calmed down. He doesn't feel like that knife spinning around in my head anymore. So I guess I've gotten better at controlling the with the my thoughts and stuff. Uh, yeah,
Um, yeah, thanks for sharing that. It's interesting that you're seeing it both from uh, seeing a psychologist and also seeing a priest. So there's like the NF component of it from the priest and
yeah,
more like you know,
NT
the
kind
NT
of.
with the psychologist. Yeah, so that's cool. You're dipping your toes in both, and you do have your NT and NF as both your saviors, so it makes sense. Like you're double active. You're almost like double intuitive, right? Um,
Yeah,
because I think for me, I'm like I have one foot in the sensory world because I'm play blast, right? Because I'm blast savior, so it's a little bit different. So um,
yeah,
yeah. So we can do a compare and contrast later because we are similar types, except the biggest difference is you have uh blast last and I have sleep last. So that does make a huge difference. Plus our social type is very different too, right? 2 and 4 is actually quite different.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay, cool. The only thing you didn't touch on for the SIFI health routine was your your nutritional habits. What is do you eat clean or do you eat whatever you want? Do you have like a do you meal
I
prep?
eat. I have tried to meal prep. Admittedly, like my diet isn't the best because like I do have histamine histamine issues, and I also have a bunch of allergies. For one, oregano and banana make my mouth itch, but I still eat them. Yeah. Tomatoes, they make me feverish because of the aforementioned histamine issues, but I still eat them anyway. So yeah, I guess like
Oh, maybe you're
when
allergic
it
to
comes,
nightshade or something, like nightshade fruit.
yeah, it's yeah, it's histamine related. Tomatoes are high in histamine. I think I may have mast cell activation syndrome, but I'm not sure. I can't get that tested here anyway.
Do you take like
But
allergy pills
yeah,
to manage it?
yeah. Hmm?
Do you have to take
I,
allergy pills to manage it?
yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't really manage my allergies. I just avoid the foods that I'm allergic to, that the symptoms I can't handle, like oat. I really can't handle the symptoms of my oat allergy. I can't handle the nausea that I get when I eat oats.
Oh,
But
okay.
other than that, yeah. Other than that though, I just kind of
Not
uh
because it tastes bad. I'm just kidding.
yeah, not just because it tastes bad. I do love oat milk though. I love oat milk. I miss oat milk. It's creamy.
Yeah,
Unlike almond milk. Almond milk is very watery, especially so good. So good almond milk. I hate so good almond milk.
that's funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a waste of money. It's just water, pretty much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just water. Yeah, but eat like the habits. Like I do try to intermittent fast, and I do try to fast every other day, but at the same time, like my when I don't monitor my eating habits, they can spiral into the realm of disordered eating pretty fast. Like I do have a kind of a problem with binging, what eating away my emotions and the like. But also at the same time, I also have a problem with focusing on something so much that I forget to eat. Like especially when I'm playing The Sims, right? Ever so often I would play The Sims, and then I realized that I haven't eaten in like the whole day.
Oh, it sounds like you might have ADHD actually, because I'm listening to you talk, and I think most people with any, I think not most, I think I have a feeling everyone with any has ADHD actually. Um,
I do actually have ADHD and autism. It's a double combo, the
oh, you have
double
double.
whammy.
Oh shit. Okay, I see. Okay, well that's tough.
Yeah.
You have a double. Which ADHD do you have?
Combined type. I show all the like the classical symptoms.
Oh, I see. So I
Yeah.
same as you, the combined type ADHD. And like,
You have ADHD too, right? I do
uh,
recall watching your video on the and SF sleep demon.
yeah, yeah, my
Yeah.
progress. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got diagnosed with ADHD. Yeah, the combined type, same as you. So, I have Vyvanse. I don't know if you have Vyvanse in Indonesia. Isn't ADHD pills illegal there in Indonesia?
It's the only ADHD medication that's legal is methylphenidate. It's sold under the names of Prohiper and Concerta. When it's
Oh,
imported,
Katrina.
it's sold under Concerta.
Yeah,
When it's locally made, it's sold under the name Prohiper.
yeah. I see.
But I was
The
prescribed Concerta in 2022, but
yeah.
because of the shortage, I haven't got it.
Oh, there's a shortage of Concerta in Jakarta.
Yeah, it needs to be imported, and since there's a shortage abroad, there's a
Yeah.
shortage of it here too.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy though, because I did take Concerta at one point. Because when I first got diagnosed, my doctor recommended Concerta first, and I tried it. I didn't really like the side effects of it. So, I when I was with the ADHD clinic, they actually originally suggested Vyvanse, but my doctor was against it at first, just because he has no experience with it, so he didn't want to give me the prescription. But I insisted, so he eventually gave me the prescription for Vyvanse, right? Because I kept pushing him to. I'm like, the clinic said this is the one I should be taking, not Concerta. So, or Concerta's okay, but like the Vyvanse would be better. So he finally caved in, gave me the prescription. I tried it, and it was like so much better. So I think
It-
hopefully you get it legalized in Indonesia, because when I was traveling in Asia just a few months ago, there was only two countries in Asia that had it legal, which was Singapore and Hong Kong, which is okay. Technically, it was legal in Malaysia, but you can't buy it there, so it doesn't make sense. So it's legal, but you can't buy it. So, um,
yeah,
so three countries is
yeah,
legal,
sucks.
and only two countries you can buy it from. Um, so
Yeah.
and it's illegal in Indonesia, so I can't bring it there. So That's why I didn't go there because I was like, I don't want to get it confiscated if I arrive. So
Yeah, and Indonesian drug laws are very strict. Um, like I think like you can only bring a maximum of like 1 kilogram. Like if you bring 1 kilogram of weed, more than 1 kilogram of weed, you get arrested and possibly executed, but mostly arrested. Like you've heard of the Bali Nine, right? Like there were 9 people who brought in weed. And also the Chappelle Corby case, like Chappelle Corby brought in some weed without noticing that she brought in weed, and then she was jailed for like the longest time, and it became um, a media sensation, media topic.
yeah, that's weird that weed is so much punishable because in I live in Canada. It's not a big deal here, right? It's like you can buy from a store, you know, it's completely legal.
Yeah,
So the US too, like several states in the US have it legalized, right? You can just go to a store and buy it. So it's definitely strange that it's illegal in many Asian countries, you know. Um, I think it's because
yeah,
Asian countries are more conservative. So
indeed. Yeah. The funny thing is that like wheat naturally grows in Aceh, and like they even have like chicken seasoned with weed, coffee, weed coffee too.
right.
But like, yeah. But also like there was this one case in a while ago. It happened in Tangerang. Tangerang is near Jakarta, like in the suburb area.
Yeah.
Um, so the police confiscated a bunch of weed in Tangerang and they burnt it all. And because they burnt the weed, most of the people surrounding got high
That's funny.
because yeah, it's yeah, um, average Indonesian police moment.
Yeah. High IQ moment.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm curious, and not ops related, but can most people in Indonesia speak English, or is it just Jakarta, or no?
Well, English is part of the curriculum, but it's not exactly like it's not rigorous. Like
But your English is good,
it
so is it
yeah,
people in Jakarta good in English then?
yeah, people like it's both. Like people in Jakarta on average are better at English than people in the outskirts in the sticks.
Yeah.
But also I have an upper middle class upbringing, mostly educated in private schools. And also my parents they studied in Australia for their master's degree, and because I also lived there for until I was 4, I had to take speech therapy there. um
Oh,
yeah,
oh, you've been immersed kind of in an English country. So
yeah.
yeah. Okay, I see. So if you go outside Jakarta, like let's say East Java, you know, like those bigger cities in East Java, do they speak English in the bigger cities or no? It's just Jakarta mainly.
Yeah, mostly Jakarta. Most, yeah. In Jakarta, most people can speak English to an extent, but like in East Java, there's like more people who can't.
Oh, I see. So it's harder to go there if you don't speak the local language.
Yeah,
I see. Okay, I was just curious because I wanted to go to East Java and I was like, I wonder if they can speak English there. You know, probably not. But
yeah.
I know Bali they probably speak English because it's so touristy,
Lots of
right?
tourists.
Yeah. So just by
Mhm.
default, right? Okay, cool. So I want to go back to the ops questions. Let's talk about your last animal, the biggest problem that you have, which is kind of obvious as we're talking right now. It's your blast last. This is the thing that you have the most trouble with. ST blast last. Can you share the difficulty of organizing your known information and then communicating it to the tribe so it's digestible in more straightforward way as opposed to doing the play consume talk of like talking in circles and never getting to a point?
Yeah. Yeah. I I have trouble being specific. Like when I when I'm asked to explain something, I just go off topic first. Like I feel the need to like explain from the beginning, from as far back as I need, and not giving specifics. Like I do get a little bit uncomfortable with giving specific numbers and stuff and specific dates because I just have trouble conceptualizing um, the dates sometimes when people ask for a timeline, or I have trouble coming up with numbers, specific figures, etc. It's just something I can't, it doesn't come natural to me. It doesn't come easily to me.
Why did you get type as MF, not FF, if you have trouble with the numbers and timeline? That's kind of interesting because usually people with who are audio kinesthetic are pretty good with the numbers and timeline, even if they have SI at the bottom, right?
Yeah. I guess like, well, I have a strong memory. I have a strong like personal memory, but like in the future, I can't really see ahead. I can't plan ahead. It's the planning ahead I can't do, as opposed to remembering. Like
Oh, I see.
I do have a good spatial memory. Um, I can remember like, yeah, spatial stuff, and also like when this happened, when exactly this happened, but conceptualizing when it will happen, how long it will take, that's the that's what I can't do. Like I can see into the past, but I can't see into the future, which is kind of why I'm more interested in history than um, in writing historical fiction than speculative fiction.
Oh, I see. I guess that's where the masculine SI is coming from. Because
Yeah,
it's in the history. Because if you were more future oriented, I guess the N would be more masculine, in your case, right? Or
yeah,
at least you would be able to combine your SI and NE to future project. And you have like double demon SI pretty much because you don't have it activated in any of your savior animals. So that's where the challenge would lie. I have ST blast, so I can see the SI steps I need to get to the future, right? So it's a little bit different, from your case.
yeah. Can't conceptualize the steps needed to get to.
Yeah.
I have a goal. I have some goals, like XYZ goal, but like until someone else tells me to make a timeline,
Yeah.
expected timeline of when I should accomplish this, it's difficult. I can't see into the future because the future is just too changeable. It's just too fluid.
Right. I see. The feminine NE, I guess. That's
Yeah.
fluid what you future project. It's kind of interesting you were saying earlier that you have trouble with specifics because I also had trouble with specifics when I was younger. But like around when I started learning about OPS and Dave and Shan explained uh what ST is, like what ST actually is. For me, it was like, oh, so that's what ST is. No wonder I can't talk to sensors, because I didn't know what ST was. But then when they told me what ST is, so I started talking to sensors, and at first I was not future, but like I was projecting myself because for me, I get really antsy when I'm talking to someone and they're taking forever to give me all the ST facts. I'm like, hurry up, holy shit, shut up, oh my god, you're taking forever to give me all the ST details. Just shut up and tell me already, like just get to the point, right? And then I realized those people, they need to go through the process of giving you all the ST details, right? So when I learned what ST was and I started giving them all the ST details, then I was able to communicate with those people better, right? and then I can add in my
It,
intuitive conclusion afterwards, right? And then they're like, oh wow, there's an intuitive conclusion from all these SD facts, you know. So it's kind of funny that you do have to translate yourself based on who you're talking to. Because if you're talking to someone with ST first, then you have to do that ST talk. You know, so I mean, for me, I'm SF last, right? So talking to someone that's lead SF is hard, you know. But
yeah,
that's a language I don't have.
it's
But you have SF third, so you have it. You're okay. Maybe you're okay with that, you know.
yeah. My dad and I, it's part of like the conflicts we have. Like my dad also had goes through like he doesn't like to hear me waffle on about like the stuff, like stuff like whenever I talk, he always tells me to get to the point, give him the specifics, just
Yeah.
run down like the strategies, tactical, etc. He's very into like the self-improvement type, like atomic habits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that book.
it's been drilled into me, but somehow I just can't it just doesn't come naturally to me to like run down the specifics, give like specific like break down my goals in specific ways.
Yeah. Oh, it makes sense. You're SD Blast, so of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. SD
I
Blast.
suspect my dad's also SD Blast, but
Oh, like an
I
iced tea
think
or
my
something.
dad's yeah. Yeah. I think my dad's more of a I think he's yeah, I think he's an SD Blast savior. But like I think his TE is masculine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he definitely has masculine TE savior. And it clashes with my feminine TE because like I waffle on too much and like my emotions are less movable.
Yeah.
Well, he's quick to like he can reprimand people and give critic and yeah, give like honest pinpoint criticism, but at the same time he's also his emotions are also movable. So like yeah, it's a kind of a clash. Like yeah.
Really? Wouldn't that not be a clash then? Wouldn't that be like a better fit? Because you know, M like masculine TE and feminine TE tend to get along, and feminine FI, masculine FI tend to get along. I guess not in
I don't know.
I guess the ST is
Yeah.
where you're getting in trouble more than the TE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think yeah, it's the SD. His the savior. Mine is blast.
Yeah. All right. Katrina, last question for you. Social type. Social type. You're social type 4. So you're high friends, and then you're a specialist. And then your demons are broad responsibility. It's not missing, it's like in a hobby state. And then the biggest demon is flex. Can you share that a little bit? Like the struggles with that and whatnot?
Yeah, well, friends with friends. Like yeah, I think it's quite apparent that I'm savior friends. Well, because like when I interact with others, I do prioritize getting along with other people as compared to like flexing my achievements. And I do consider myself someone that could get along with other people. Like I pride myself on not making a fuss. I mean, not making a fuss is also kind of like a feminine TE kind of thing also, because like it's feminine. But also at the same time, I try to get along with as many people as I can, broaden my friend group, and so on. Like, I don't want to make enemies. Making enemies feel very uncomfortable to me. But I don't want to step on other people's toes. Uh, and and the thought of being like putting myself out there, like my like flexing my achievements, the thought of it is kind of uncomfortable because like if I flex my achievements, then people are open to criticizing me. And like for the savior specialist, it's kind of also kind of obvious because like I do tend to like my areas of expertise are kind of limited. They're limited to drawing, writing, history, and psychology and cooking. Yeah.
That's a lot.
I don't,
That's
yeah.
not. That's not. That's not. That's not one thing. That's a
It's
lot.
not, yeah. Well, yeah, it's not it's not it's a lot, but it's still like within my bubble of specialization. I don't really venture out of my bubble of specialization. I don't seek out new hobbies unless I feel like it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I rarely feel like gathering more hobbies. I like to stay in my specialization bubble. Thank you very much.
It sounds like you're more chasing your hobbies than anything, because that's what number fours do, right? There's like you tend to chase hobbies as opposed to something that would build your status, like someone with high flex would. So
Yeah.
that the stuff that you listed sounds like your list of hobbies, and then you go after them, as opposed to
Yeah.
trying to show people, hey, I'm the best, like I'm really good at whatever you're into, or
Yeah.
that you're competing in. So okay, okay, cool.
I
So
like to think of myself as good at this. Like I'm good at my areas of specialization, but I'm not a complete expert. I have yet to learn a lot.
yeah, well, I mean, you're still young. You need like 10,000 hours, right, to get really good at something. So
Yeah.
probably haven't had 10,000 hours in anything yet. So, so you're not gonna be like the master at anything. Maybe competent, but not master.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Although it does, like, uh, I do have to add something though. It does kind of bristle me when someone says I'm not good at my area of specialization, because like I do remember like a while ago, my dad says that I've been praised for my drawing, that since I don't draw consistently, my drawing skills don't really improve, and like hello, have you seen my drawings compared to my drawings from like 5 years ago? I have clearly improved. So like if people don't see like my skill and my area of specialization, it still bristles me, it still kind of upsets me.
that honestly though, that's probably your fault that you get your dad was crapping on your drawing because you didn't blast, right? You didn't
Yeah.
you didn't do that.
Yeah,
Because you didn't say
true.
you didn't do the SD blast. You didn't say, but like, yeah, but look at 5 years versus now. See, take a look. Blast, right? Like,
Yeah.
and so that's your fault. You didn't do that. So that's
Yeah.
that was, yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, it is on me. I don't want to blast my
You're
freaking
you're you're,
I
you're
don't want to blast my works until they're ready.
yeah. Gotcha. All right, Katrina, we'll wrap up the interview here. So thanks for coming out and sharing more about your life and your parts and whatnot. So yeah, nice meeting you.
Yeah. See ya.
All right, take care.
It's nice to have this interview. Bye bye. Take care.